Hello and welcome to Worthy United. I am the founder, Jessica Viera, and together with Monique Viera, we are Worthy and United. We are bringing you a women's and men's mental health awareness, healing, and empowerment movement. Through the power of storytelling, facilitation, and teaching, we open up unfiltered conversations on topics associated with traumatic events in a way that you have never experienced before.
We take you through and help you understand that it is our experiences that have formed our behaviours, patterns, conditioning, and perceptions in our adulthood. The outcome of understanding and healing these experiences we are holding on to has the ability to have a direct response to the relationships we have in our lives, our careers, our family union, our opportunities, and family lineage. When we reveal these experiences we have encountered in our lives that have created the trauma in our body and mind, we open a gateway to healing these moments in our life and reach a higher level of consciousness, which allows us to live a life of inner freedom, love, abundance, joy, happiness, and enlightenment within ourselves.
Our mission is to break generational curses, shift old paradigm beliefs, and bring awareness to real life, personal and circumstantial traumatic experiences. My message to you is, you were born worthy and nothing has ever changed. Now let's begin.
Hey, honey.
Hello.
So this is a real privilege because this is the first time that you've actually shared anything. Actually, you're usually behind the scenes.
Yes.
And you're behind the scenes of a very important, very special project, organization, revolution. So I'd love, yes, a movement.
Yeah.
So let's introduce you to the audience.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Where to begin? So I guess I'm the co-founder or one of the founders of what was originally known as the Rising Woman and is now Worthy and United. Mm-hmm. But I'm also one of the founders as well of the business coaching aspect side as well. So both sides of the business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Monique.
Yes.
When you're not that, who are you?
Oh, gosh, that's a hard question. That's a really hard question. Who am I? The way that I usually would describe myself is I am a goofball nerd wrapped into one. Mm-hmm. I'm the first one that's going to make you laugh, but I'm also the one I'm usually the mother of the group. First one to give you a hug. First one to make sure if you're okay.
Yeah.
I'm just the nurturer. Mm-hmm. Still trying to figure that out though.
What version of you do others don't know about? The parts of you that you hide to be who you think you need to be.
Yeah, I think that part is the hurt, a little bit broken and traumatized child.
Can we go there?
Yeah, okay.
Because right now what I know is that you're seen as very capable, very on, organised, business, the hugger, the lover, but behind closed doors, there's another version of you. You know, the reason why you're here and you're wanting to share this part of you is because you really want to be a demonstration and an example from this place of being worthy, you know, and uniting. So when did it all start for you? What do you remember?
It's funny because, you know, and Jess says it all the time, you know, we were raised in the same house but very different upbringings. For me, I was predominantly raised by my dad. He was very loving and nurturing and hands-on and affectionate towards me. Mm. It's funny that I say it, but I didn't really have a relationship with my mum. I say it's funny because you look at me and my mum now and we're like two peas in a dysfunctional pod. She's my best friend. But growing up, we were so polar opposites. Mm. And my dad really raised me. And it's not funny, but it's funny because you hear Jess's story and it's like, I don't remember a majority of that because I was so sheltered by my dad. I knew that there were people that came in and out of our house a lot, you know, being raised in that environment. There were random people coming in and out of our house a lot. I knew that I wasn't allowed to go in the laundry. I knew to stay away from certain parts of the house when those people were there, but I never knew what was actually going on.
Which was?
The drugs.
What kind of drugs?
From what I knew, it was marijuana when I was young. I didn't know about the heavier drugs that my dad got into until I was much older. But I didn't know. Yeah. I had no idea. I was very sheltered. I was like, Mommy, that's my nickname. Mommy, stay in the living room. Just watch TV. Don't talk to anyone. Just stay there. Yeah. I didn't start to really connect the dots until I watched what was happening to Jess. Yeah. So obviously it was a massive toll on me when, we left and my dad left, and getting put with two people that I don't really have that too much of a connection with. Yes, Jess and I used to play with each other as kids, but you look at us and we're polar opposites. We're polar opposites. So it was a shock to me having to.
So you're with your mum
and Jess. When my dad left, different states. I didn't see him until I think maybe a year and a half after he left. So having to kind of navigate a relationship with my mum, and then watching Jess starting to rebel and go out and mum being frantic of like, oh my gosh, where's my daughter? What's happening? Them screaming at each other, fighting and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just sitting in the back like, I'm okay, Mum. I'm okay. I got it. You chase after Jess. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
But were you?
Fuck no. Fuck no. No.
If there was anything that you feel to share about that time, about the truth, what would it be? How were you feeling?
I felt very alone. I know that Mum needed to focus on Jess and she was hurting, but I felt that there was no one there for me. Our family didn't contact us outside of that. I was getting bullied at school because I didn't know anyone. I was new. I got chucked in last semester of the year. I felt very alone because my dad had moved on. He had a new family. There was no one there to see if I was okay.
And in that loneliness, what was your life like? Like, what was your experience every day?
To be honest, I actually don't remember. Yeah. It's very much a blur. I don't remember how I felt. I don't remember what was going through my head. All I can remember is just pain and being by myself. Even though there were people around me, I actually don't really remember.
When you say you experienced pain, what kind of pain?
Emotional pain.
Like what?
Like abandonment and not feeling loved, not feeling like I was worth keeping around.
By who?
My dad.
Yeah. And so he left and he had another family?
Yes, yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I love my little sister. I love her, but there is a hurt in me because for 10 years, I was my dad's little girl. I was his baby. And then I wasn't. Like there was a time frame where I think we didn't speak for maybe a year, 2 years. And in my head, I'm like, how can he be okay with that? How can somebody who said he loved me so much be okay with not speaking to his daughter? I love my little sister, but there is a lot of hurt.
If there was anything that you could say to your dad, what would it be?
There's a lot of things. It depends what mood I'm in. I think it would just be, I love you and I forgive you. And I know it wasn't easy because he was battling his own demons.
And where's your dad now?
He lives with my uncle and he has full-time nursing care. He had a little bit of an accident a couple of years ago. He had a stroke due to a drug overdose and he kind of lost half the function of his brain. So he's there, but it's like the wires aren't fully connected sort of thing.
Okay, Worthy and United fam, we have reached a quick intermission. Monique and I are coming back with an absolute bang. We are so excited to announce the return of the Find Your Inner Power events. Ooh! We have not held an event since we collaborated with Lululemon in Sydney for Women's International Day back in March 2020. Can you believe it has been this long since our last event? We are itching to get back into the event space. Since then, we have rebranded, renamed the company to align with both men and women, and calibrated more deeply with our mission and purpose. We proudly present you the Born Worthy event, which will be held November 27th on the Gold Coast at Braeside Estate. This event is heavily focused on healing the inner child and stepping into womanhood. The message is this: we are all born into this world worthy, whole as one in our purest and innocent form. It is our experiences, emotions, and trauma that change our beliefs and perceptions about what our true potential identity is. This event will be hosted by Monique Viera alongside 4 incredible, powerful speakers, including myself, Jessica Viera, where we will reveal unfiltered, real-life stories alongside professional teachings from mentors, educators, professionals, and facilitators. Born Worthy will be a mega charity event where we will be raising money for Diamond Women Australia, a non-for-profit organisation. First release tickets will be available mid-October. There will be 80 tickets available to attend live, and virtual tickets will also be available for those of you that are located interstate or internationally. If you feel aligned to be a part of this event, please head to the show notes where you will find www.worthyandunited.com to secure your place with us. We are so excited. It's going to be a profound and extraordinary day together. Now let's get back into the episode.
So shall we get gritty?
Let's do it.
So you're living with your mum and Jess, and you're seeing your sister play out what she needed to play out.
Yep.
And you felt disconnected. What impact has that made on you, parts of you now, where you don't feel safe in any part of your life? Or has it made an impact? What was life like playing out after all of that?
I tried to seek safety and love through outside sources. Majority of the time, it was me trying to find it in boys. And majority of the time, it was very unrequited. Mm-hmm. That's the word.
Yeah. Let's get gritty. Like what? Like what?
So I think the first time where it was kind of reciprocated, I think I was maybe like 15, 16, and I had met this, I'm going to say he was a man because he was a man, through a friend. He was a lot older than I was, and it was the first time that someone had reciprocated that love and that attention to me. And I was like, yes, this is what I want. This is what I need. Looking back at it now, I do realize, and it's probably over the past like 1 year that I've realized that I was very much emotionally groomed by an older male.
Mm.
He knew my dad left. He knew I was upset. He knew I was severely depressed. And he played upon that.
Mm-hmm. What did that become at the time?
Unfortunately, he was my first experience for sex.
Yep.
And after he got that, there was nothing.
As in, what do you mean?
There was nothing from him.
How did that play out for you?
I felt broken. I was like, this person's told me they love me and that they want to spend their life with me, but then they've just gone and disappeared. I didn't know what to do. I had mum screaming at me because she found out about it, that I was talking to this older male because he was a lot older. And mum's like, what are you doing? Like, give me your phone. Like, what are you doing talking to him? And I'm like, in my head, I couldn't see what was wrong with it. But he loved me. He said he loved me. I couldn't see anything wrong with it.
And then what happened in life? How did that continue on for you?
That continued on attaching myself to people as soon as they said that they loved me. Yep, they're the one I'm going to be with. They're my be-all, end-all. I need to put my everything into them. My next relationship was even worse. That was sexually and physically abusive. I let him live with me. I paid for everything. I was like dying inside. And it just continued from there, the same pattern over and over and over again.
When you say you were dying inside, what does that mean?
I hated myself. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. Hated the way I looked. Hated the person I was. How can anyone love me if my dad doesn't love me? If my dad's abandoned me, what's so worthy about me?
With you carrying that on your heart, for how long?
That's probably been with me since very recently. So probably around 10 years.
Yeah. How does that impact your life, the way that you experience life?
It's been a struggle. With any decision I've made, with any praise that anyone gives me, in my head it's like, nope, that can't be true. They're lying. That's false. It's not true.
Anything else?
I've struggled to be me. I've struggled to show people me and love myself because I didn't think that I deserved it. I think for me, I've finally found myself, the love within myself, that I don't need to seek love, safety, security in others, because at the end of the day, I am safe within myself. And I am so worthy to be respected, to have love, to have proper friendships. And no outside source is ever going to tell me different.
Mm-hmm. How did you get there? Like, what's been your journey?
I got to a point where I was trying to seek it so fiercely in others that I was pushing it on others so much that it was triggering other people.
Mm.
And that's the last thing I wanted, because I am very maternal. I am very like I said, I'm the first one to be like, are you okay? Do you need a hug? Like, do you need support? Do you want to talk about it? But then I noticed my behavior was triggering other people.
So for everyone that's listening,
mm-hmm.
if you could have your own soul message, knowing if you could reflect on your life
mm-hmm.
and have your own soul message that feels really alive for you today,
mm-hmm.
what would that be? What can you impart on them? For anyone that's possibly experiencing right now
mm-hmm.
these feelings of being abandoned by loved ones, by family, and then experiencing this need for that external love, you know, instead of suffering in it right now, what could be your soul message to them?
Yes, it hurts. And yes, honestly, I understand, like, sometimes it feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, that there's no one around you that hears you and that feels you and that is there for you. But it all comes back to, at the end of the day, you are worthy. There is a light. You just have to hold on. That pain will ease and it will get better. There are people around you. You may not be able to see it. You may not be able to feel it just yet, but there are people around you that love you and care for you and want to support you. You just have to let them in.
That's beautiful. Thank you. And for you and your role, but beyond your role, for you, what are you excited about?
I am excited to see people grow and, I guess, release whatever is in them and evolve into that next phase. I've seen it happen within myself. I've seen it happen within my mum, and I've seen it happen within my sister, and it is powerful and the possibilities are endless. And I'm excited to see other people potentially go through that journey with us, whether that be in the business, mentoring side of things, or through Worthy and United. Because this world, it can be tough. And having a space where you can connect with others and speak openly and have those experiences, it's amazing. And I'm praying that it'll be big, because I feel like there's a lot of people out there that need it.
Yeah, definitely.
And that concludes today's episode. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for leaning in. I hope that the transmission of this message lands well on your heart. I hope that it pours through your spirit, and I hope that it is everything that you needed today in this moment. Remember, you were born worthy and nothing has ever changed. We love you, and we'll see you in the next episode.